Well, welcome back to Lord Honey, Forkin Around with Chef Jason and Angelina. I am here with my wonderful co host today, and we are starting our episode 2, wrapping up National Soup Month in January. How are you doing today, Chef?
Lord, honey, I'm as fine as frog hair. Listen, I'm always so excited, so I'm good today.
That's good. So we are still, for all of our listeners, we are still accepting our submissions for your favorite soup that you've either made or had all through January 31st. Any winner that we choose will be receiving a Lord Honey gift basket full of amazing Lord Honey merch and other delicious goodies. So definitely keep those submissions coming in. And with our next episode next week, we will be kicking off our February food challenge. So definitely stay tuned for that. But before we move into February, January 31st is actually going to be National Hot Chocolate Day. So, Chef, can you tell us how can we spice up a regular plain old hot chocolate? How do we dress it up, dress it down? What are some of your favorite ways?
Listen, honey, I love me some good old hot chocolate. And I have been, listen, hot chocolate is one of those things that, especially if you live in the north, when it's cold and snowy and stuff, we
Yes.
all like to have a little hot chocolate. But sometimes just the hot chocolate won't warm you up just enough. So you need to, make it a little more exciting. So if you want to adulterize it, as I say, which that's not really a real word for anybody that's wondering. That adulterizes. It sounds like something you get in trouble for. But anyway, um,
That's true.
so the way I like to make my hot chocolate is I like to take a half part hot chocolate and 1/4 part of like either bourbon or rum or even red wine. Red wine and hot chocolate is so good. And then I know y'all are saying that's 3/4 of a cup. Yeah, that's right. So the last quarter of the cup, you want to add some heavy whooping cream. Honey, just straight out thing. That's whipping cream for all those that don't know what whooping cream is. So you add that in there, and then you top it off, honey, with some of that wonderful new. Have you had the new French vanilla spray whipped cream in a can?
No, I've only had Trader Joe's coconut whipped cream
Oh,
actually,
now
which is
that one's
really,
good.
really
That's
good.
good too. Trader Joe's is a good one too. But they also have one that is the French vanilla. So the French vanilla is good too. So that one's good. But yeah, I like the Trader Joe's coconut one too because then it's not dairy. So if you're non-dairy, then you can do that one. But then you give it a good sprinkle, honey, of some like cocoa sprinkles or the chocolate sprinkles. So I'm not a big marshmallow person. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's just adding more sweetness to the hot chocolate. So I'm not wild about that. But you can kick up your hot chocolate that way. But if you're doing it for the kiddos, honey, we can't put and be putting up in the
No.
bourbon and all that stuff, unless you need them to take a nap. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so if you're doing hot chocolate for the kiddos, so the new thing that I have found is orange. Did you know that orange is a new thing with kids? It's all kids take these things. It's either strawberry or raspberry. It's those familiar fruits that kids like. But orange is the new kids' favorite flavors now. Oh no, I mean all this stuff
Interesting.
goes in cycle. So anyway, add a little bit of orange. Either like use orange zest. You can use an orange essence that's a real orange, not like a fake orange um, flavoring or anything like that. But you add the orange zest to the cocoa mix before you add the hot milk to it or hot water, whichever one you're using. And then it blooms that orange zest, and you get this little hint of orange. So not only are they getting a great treat, but they're getting a little bit of vitamin C too, because when it's cold out, we all need more vitamin C. So that's probably my two favorite ways, but there's millions of ways to fun up hot chocolate. Use your imagination. As I like to say, get creative in the kitchen. Even if you can't cook, you can make hot chocolate. The box tells you how to do it. And then add your own stuff to it, like maybe raspberry puree, or, maybe you could do crushed pistachios on the top with some toasted coconut. Make it a fun kind of hot cocoa day. Take me to the islands cocoa day, so it could be that coconut and pineapple, and chocolate goes so well with so many different things.
That
You
is
just
true.
got to pair the right chocolate. So dark chocolate goes great with pineapple, goes great with orange. Dark chocolate loves strawberry. Dark chocolate loves everybody, even Lord Honey. Let me tell you, dark chocolate loves everything. But be creative with your hot cocos. But that's my two favorite is an orange hot cocoa and then also an adulterized hot cocoa. You can add you a little bit of bourbon. You can add you a little bit of rum. And try the red wine. Don't kid yourself.
I would never have thought to do red wine,
Well, have
honestly.
you ever ate like chocolate with red wine?
No, not at the same time.
Girl, you ain't a living listen, honey. All the new charcuterie boards, as I call them, they got all this chocolate, dark chocolate, and you try all the different wines. Dark chocolate and red wine together, listen, that is a match made in heaven, honey. So try that. I'm telling you, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely when it gets a bit colder up here, that's
Yeah,
going to be the first thing I do, either the red wine or the orange zest. Both sound really, really good.
honey.
But moving on into what are some common food myths that you've heard in the cooking industry that you can debunk for us?
Lord, honey, there's so many food myths out there that, listen, we could have a show on about food myths every single day of the week because there's so many out there. So one of them is, have you heard the myth, you eat fat makes you fat?
Yes.
Okay, that is a total myth. That is an old wives' tale, honey. They say you eat fat makes you fat, and that is not true. So good fats. So let's dive into some good fats. What are good fats? Good fats are natural fats. Bacon grease. Real butter. Yes, children, real butter. None of that margarine stuff, honey. Margarine was Tangerine's sister, and she ain't we don't go there. You can't have none of that margarine stuff because it's plastic. You can leave it set out on your counter and it will not mold for 100 years, okay? So good fats are true fats. Lard, bacon grease, real butter, cocoa fats, anything that is a natural fat that's found in the world. Nothing that's homogenized or it's stirred up at a factory or whatever. Those are not good fats, okay? So if it says homogenized, you don't want it. Or you don't want it if it says that it's like 90% vegetable oil and it looks like a stick of butter. She ain't gonna fly, okay?
Well, speaking of a stick of butter,
Yeah.
bringing back to season 1 of The Goat,
Yeah.
was that real butter or what
Ooh,
kind of
honey,
butter was
listen, that on the goat, honey.
was the stick of butter that you ate?
Yeah, so those that are, just now tuning in on the second episode, yes, I was contestant on the GOAT on Amazon Freebie. I made it to the top 3. But anyway, yes, I had to eat this stick of butter. And truthfully, we had 2 in the house that was vegan or vegetarian, so the butter was vegan butter. Now, I don't know how you get real butter out of vegan butter. It's made out of a plant, and I've never found a butter plant yet. So if anybody out there knows where I can get a butter plant, please let me know because I'm all things about butter. Let's grow it. But anyway, so that was vegan butter, but it was the best vegan butter I've ever ate in my life. It tasted like real butter. Of course, I probably killed part of my liver eating it, but that's okay. I don't really know what vegan butter's made out of. I do some things vegan, but I don't know. It's the plant thing that throws me off. I'm like, is there really a tree that grows butter out here? So we're going to get into that. And there's
We're gonna look
nothing
into
wrong with
this.
vegan stuff. I love vegan
No,
stuff, and
of
I
course
love my
not.
vegan friends. So don't take this wrong. But anyway, so yeah, butter. We all seen me eat a stick of butter. I loved it. So eating natural fats will not make you fat, okay, children? So that's the thing is everybody said, oh, Lord, the more fat you eat, the fatter you're going to get. No, honey, listen, I got friends that look like bean poles that eats bacon grease for breakfast, just dipping a biscuit in it, honey, and they ain't getting fat. So natural fats, your body breaks natural fats down. So it uses natural fats as energy. So especially if you're doing like high keto diets or you're on the carnivore diet where you're eating a lot of meats, a lot of cheeses, a lot of things like that, and a lot of natural fats, your body uses those fats to convert into energy because you're not taking in so many carbs. So good fat, natural fats, fats we find in life. Honey, listen, I'm fat and everybody loves me. So, but anyway, or I hope they do anyway. But, that's the good thing is eat real fats, eat true fats. So that is a total myth that is debunked. Fat does not make you fat unless it's not a real fat, okay? Let's put it that way. So eat natural fats. Go forth and eat bacon grease, children. Go forth and eat the butter. Eat the whatever, just don't eat the processed stuff that says, ooh, this is not real butter, but it tastes like butter. That's like me saying, oh, this cake tastes like a steak just because it is in the shape of a steak. It's not going to do it. So.
And what about in the cooking process itself? Are there any kind of myths that you've heard that you want to crack as well?
Yeah, so cooking process, everybody, a lot of people have one of the cooking process that a lot of people tell me all the time. They're like, oh, you cannot put true vanilla extract in anything you're cooking or baking before it's baked or cooked, that the flavor cooks out. Totally wrong. Okay, guys, so there again, just like the butter, you got to use real vanilla extract. You don't want the fake stuff. So you want real vanilla flavoring. I misspoke. You want real vanilla flavoring, not extract. Okay, so extract usually is full of alcohol. Okay, so what happens? Yes, you're like, oh, I made a cake last week and I put my vanilla up in there, and when I ate the cake, there was no vanilla in it. Well, that's because you used the extract, and what happens is the alcohol cooks off. So therefore, you do lose the flavor of the vanilla. But if you use a pure flavoring, such as pure orange flavoring, pure raspberry flavoring, pure vanilla, you can put it in anything you're cooking or that you're making or baking, and you're going to get those flavors. Like, people don't realize we actually use extracts when we're cooking too. I use basil extract. I use a oregano extract, a rosemary extract, and chocolate are not extracts. They are emulsions. We'll talk about that. I know it's a whole world, children. It's a whole world. So you don't want extract because that's the fake. You want the true thing, which is pure vanilla flavoring, pure basil flavoring, pure, whatever. If it says extract, don't buy it because it's got alcohol in it, and it's all alcohol, okay? Emulsions is the new thing. So you buy those, Angelina, they're emulsions. So like you want the orange emulsion, you want the blueberry emulsion. These are made from the real fruit. And when you pour them out of the bottle, you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? This lemon emulsion is white. It's not clear like I'm used to. That's because it's made from the real fruit. So the myth is you can't put flavorings in anything you cook or bake because the flavor dissipates. Wrong. You got to use the real thing as far as the flavorings, and then you will get like the liquid flavorings you want, the pure thing. Don't get the extracts. Now, almond extract is the only one I found that is the exception because I cannot find a real almond-like flavoring other than using like ground almonds or using almond paste, but it will change your recipe somewhat. So I do have played around with almond extract, but now children, you all know, you've seen me on TV enough. If you give me almond extract in anything while I'm judging you, you gone, honey. You packing your drawers, you're leaving the next day. So don't do it, okay? Just, this is your warning. If you're planning to be on a competition show anytime soon or doing a contest, do not use almond extract. It is not going to pair you well favors, okay? Yeah.
Wow, there you go. You busted some myths and got some tips from Chef Jason. But what are some, so we're also going to move in and doing some kitchen hacks. So what is our kitchen hack of the week here?
Kitchen hack of the week. I love a good kitchen hack. Listen, I'm all about kitchen hacks because if I can get you in the kitchen, make you something, get you to make something real quick and get you on your way, that's my deal. Okay, one of my favorite kitchen hacks in life, okay? Everybody says, oh, you need all these big fancy tools in your kitchen. You do not need all those big fancy tools in your kitchen. You need exactly just the things you need to make your kitchen run. A good mixer. You need a good rolling pin. You need cast iron. You need a few cast iron. You don't have to have a whole lot. So we'll talk more about what you need in a kitchen in a later episode. But today it's all about one kitchen hack. My favorite kitchen hack in life. And you're going to hear me talk a lot about kitchen hacks coming up on other episodes, and I'm always going to say it's my favorite. Listen, I have a book of favorites, children, so not only is one my favorite, probably a million of them, okay? But we all know, we all see now that the new thing is to marinate your meat. Hey, girl, you got to marinate your meat. Lord, honey, you got to marinate your meat. Yes, marinating your meat is great, but they're like, oh, put it in the marinade. Let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. Let it do this. Let it do that. So the kitchen hack is we all have zip top bags. All right? We all got a zip top bag. I'm sure you got a zip top bag, okay? We all got zip top bags, all right? So what you do is you make your marinade in the zip top bag, okay?
Okay.
Then whatever meat that you're marinating, whether it's a steak or whether it's chicken or it's pork or it's fish or whatever, you stab the living far out of that thing with a fork, honey. You just take out your daily excretions on it, okay? And then you put that meat in the bag. Don't seal it. Lay it down and start rolling making sure the opening isn't laying down. But with one hand, hold the open, and then rolling the meat in that. Roll the bag up to the top and then seal it to the end and mash the rest of the air out of there and zip it closed, okay? Put it in the freezer for 12 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Now, the object of the game here is you're wanting all that stuff to suck into that meat, that marinade into that meat to make the meat good, okay? So in the freezer, it's a different process because this meat and all the liquid is starting to get cold, and that liquid goes into the meat quicker, all right? Jerk that sucker out after 12 minutes out of the freezer, you're good to go. So my favorite hack is zip top bag, honey, is good for anything. You've got your marinade already in that bag. When you get done marinating whatever you're doing, take it out, freeze the marinade, put it back in the freezer in your zip top bag. It's good for 2 times, okay? So we just marinated our steak and we're now cooking it. We put our marinade, you take the air out of it, leave it in the bag, put it back in the freezer, freeze it, and you say next week I want another steak. You take it out 20 minutes before you're getting ready to marinate your meat. That liquid unthaws. Put your steak in there. Do the same thing. You're good to go. After this time, because the second time, throw it away, and then you're going to start over, okay? Zip top bags are good for everything. Listen, you pack them with you. So if you go on a daily swim out at the beach or the pool, you put your wet drawers up in there to take them home so you don't get it all up in your bag and in your vehicle and all that. Listen. A zip top bag is your new friend in the kitchen, okay? That is the first hack. Oh, you're like, I got to make a marinade. I got to put it in a container with a lid. I got to mix it up in a bowl and then pour it in the container. How many dishes did you just go through? You ain't got time for that. It is a one ready-made thing, a zip top bag. And you can wash them and reuse them. Turn them inside out and wash them real good and then let them dry. I learned that from my grandmother. We'd eat off of paper plates and she would wash them. And I'm like, you told us to eat off of paper, now you're washing them. Why didn't we just eat off? So anyway, you can reuse zip top bags. And I wouldn't reuse them more than, a couple, 3 times because you're going to start wearing them out. But that's one hack I love, zip top bag. You need your nuts crushed? Just put your nuts in the bag and beat it up with a rolling pin. You need some peppermint crust. You put it in a zip top bag and beat it up. You need crackers for your meatloaf coming up, honey. Put it in a zip top bag and beat the living life out of it. You got cracker crumbs. Zip top bag is going to be your friend. You going on a trip, you put all your stuff in a zip top bag, your phone, your medications, all your stuff, and you carry it in there. So I've carried a zip top bag in my carry-on for years, honey. It's wore out. I need to replace it, but it's still holding up. So, yeah,
Well, I think this is a perfect segue. What is your favorite marinade to make?
Oh, my favorite marinade. Okay, so let's talk about chicken, okay? Because this is the
Okay.
month that
Love a
we're
good
eating
chicken.
a little cleaner. We're
Of
eating
course.
a little leaner. So let's talk about chicken. Now, this works for chicken or any poultry. If
Okay.
you like some good, because you can buy the turkey loins now. that are
Right.
small, and so you're not cooking a whole big turkey and all that. And we're all like, oh, I want some turkey and it's not Thanksgiving, but I have to buy a big bird. No, you don't have to buy a big bird, honey. You can buy a turkey loin up at the local grocery store, up at your local Piggly Wiggly. And I love me some good Piggly Wiggly, and they just about to go out, children. So anyway, um, so my favorite marinade is my citrus honey mint marinade.
Ooh.
Okay,
Okay. Never
so
thought to put mint on chicken.
yeah, you've never had mint on chicken,
Mm-mm.
girl. You ain't never had red wine and chocolate. You ain't never had mint on chicken.
Well, it's good that we're actually Chef Jason and I are meeting this week, so maybe we'll have to do a little
No,
cooking.
I know. We're gonna, honey, we're gonna whoop up on some mint and chicken and chocolate and wine. So, I mean, it's like, what else? You're gonna be full of surprises with me. But anyway, so, especially if I'm. So especially if I'm listen, if you're not watching this, you're just listening to it. You do
Just
not
go on
know
YouTube
the
and watch
facial
it.
expressions you're missing. I'm telling you right now. So I'm in awe. Mint on chicken, yes, mint's great. So especially if I'm doing like a Mediterranean dish, because there's a lot of mint in Mediterranean. Okay, so when I do this, when I'm telling you about this marinade out there, children, if you don't like mint, then you can use another one and another herb, and I'll tell you about it. So my favorite is a citrus honey mint marinade, and I love this on chicken. I love this on turkey. If you are from the country like me and you have family that likes to eat wild game like pheasant or goose or things like that, it's good on that too. Okay, so. But anyway, we talk mostly about chicken and turkey because it's hard to find gooses up in the grocery store now. But anyway, so you take that citrus. So it is lime juice, lemon juice, orange juice, and if you can have grapefruit juice, a little grapefruit juice. So it is like one lime juiced. And the easiest way to juice a lime is pop it in the microwave for 10 seconds and then roll it on the board, cut it in half, and the juice will come out. Because limes are like, limes is like me growing hair. It's a hard thing, okay? Because as y'all, I don't grow anything on the top of this snow globe, but I ain't had hair on top of this head in years. So, but anyway, and same thing for lemon. So it's one lime juiced, okay? One
Okay.
lemon juiced. 3 oranges juiced, and a half of a grapefruit if you can have grapefruit. Now, some people take medication that can't have grapefruit, so you just add you an extra orange if you can't have the grapefruit. Now, some of my favorite oranges are Cara, blood oranges, navel oranges. Sour oranges, not so much in this one. They're good for pork, but this one we already have the lime and lemon, so we really don't want the sour orange. And then it's a half a cup of honey, local honey from somewhere local around you. If you want local honey, because it's good for your allergies. Or once we come up with that Lord Honey hot honey sauce, you could add that in there. We're
That
working
is
on
true.
that, children.
It's in the
Don't worry.
works.
Don't worry. Lord Honey hot honey sauce is coming to you somewhere near soon. We are working on it hard. And then after you put your honey in there, then you want 3 to 5 fresh mint leaves, okay? And you want to just chop them up, dice them up real fine or whatever, or rip them up, whatever you want to do. Put all that in your bag, zip top bag, and give it a good shake and stir it up and stuff. And then add a teaspoon of black pepper or white pepper, totally your choice. And then you want about a teaspoon of onion powder, okay? And you mix all that together. Now, y'all say, well, where's the salt? Well, we don't really want to put a lot of salt in this just yet because I don't want to pull the moisture out of the chicken because I'm wanting to put moisture or flavor into the chicken, okay? So this is a marinade. This is not a brine. So a brine has a lot of salt, a lot of sugar. Marinades don't have a lot of salt, okay? Because we're putting flavor in the meat. We're not tenderizing or salting it yet, okay? So once you get that all mixed up, honey, you throw your bird up in that bag. Honey, bird in a bag, bird in a bag. Everybody needs a bird in a bag. And then do the marinade like I told you to. Put it in the freezer, let it set for 12 minutes, take it out. then grill it. I love a grilled piece of chicken, you know. You can also, if you're not eating lean or clean this month and you want to fry it, it makes good fried chicken. You've soaked it. Do your breading process and fry that bad boy, okay? Now, if you don't want to mint, if you think that's kind of wild and crazy, basil works great in this. Oregano works great in this. Rosemary, not so much in this one. I mean, you could do a little rosemary. Rosemary is my friend. She's the great girl, but she only comes to the party when she needs to be there, and this really isn't the party she wants to be at. Time's always good with poultry. So if you don't like the mint, but I'm telling you, if you try the mint, you're going to love the mint. So once you take it out before you cook it, that's when you're going to salt it, okay? So we want to salt our chicken or our turkey after we marinated it in this wonderful citrus honey mint. Then we're going to salt it, and then we're going to grill it, or we're going to roast it. You can pan fry it, you can broil it, or you can broil it. Sorry. You know, my country accent, ain't nobody gonna know. Lord, I don't even know how to cook it because I don't even know what he's talking about. But anyway, so you can broil it, so you can pan fry it, you can grill it, you can do anything. So that's my favorite marinade. Yes, it's a long story, children, to get one marinade out of a man, I'm telling you. Anyway, next.
Well, that wraps up pretty much everything we had to talk about today. Did you have any other kind of tips and tricks that you wanted to share with everyone for the week, or any other recipes you wanted to share with?
Well, we're still, you know, we're still in January, and this is, you know, soup month. So just make sure, guys, that you're you're tagging us. So some people have sent in their soup photos, but they forget to tag Lord Honey Podcast, or they forget to tag Chef Jason Smith. So we're not seeing them, and they're like, hey, I sent this, but I didn't see it. Well, it's because you didn't tag. So make sure you're always tagging us, any kind of food, but it's all about the soup. I can't wait to see y'all's soup. We got some great ones so far. So keep sending the soups in, and remember, guys, it's still comfort food times because it's still a little cool, okay? So soup and stew, as I say, if you put it in a bowl and eat it, it's a soup. If you call it a soup, it's a soup. If you say we're having ice cream coconut soup tonight, I guarantee you that could be done. Have you never had a good coconut soup, honey? A coconut curry soup? I make mine with vanilla ice cream. So.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Well, now we have to hear the recipe.
So you know, coconut curry. So I don't know. We're not going to give them the recipe today. We're going to make them wait because it's
Okay.
really good, though. You know, it's hack. I'm all about the hacks. I'm all about how to do things quicker, or how to do things not really. You don't want to sacrifice flavor with quick. You can still do quick and still good, okay? But my whole thing is think how to use stuff you already have in your pantry and refrigerator. We have it. Why spend $50 on one recipe when we have things? So it's a lot of trying. Let's just say the chickens eat a lot around here because I'm always trying something and it doesn't turn out, okay, guys? So it's okay. Like cornflakes sitting up here behind me, y'all see. If you're looking at us, cornflake is hanging on the wall behind me. that is my trademarked rooster right there. Is cornflake. He's eating butter, I think. But anyway, so. Be listening for future episodes where you will get to learn how to make, and maybe one episode we'll do it on air while we're doing it. You know, while we're filming, we'll do it. So it is coconut curry soup, but I make it with vanilla ice cream.
So that will be coming soon. But join us next time as we dive into some delicious food-themed days as we kick off February. All throughout February, we'll be celebrating National Tater Tot Day.
Oh,
some
I love
fun
me a good tater
and
tot.
crispy ways to enjoy this beloved bite-sized treat. We also have National Pizza Day, so we'll be sharing some fun takes on everyone's favorite slice. And overall, February is also National Snack Food Month, so we'll be sharing some of our go-to snack recipes and coming up with our new challenge for February. But we, of course, cannot forget Valentine's Day, which is the perfect excuse to indulge in some chocolate. So we'll be talking about creative ways to switch up some classic chocolate desserts that you can make for your special someone. Otherwise, we'll see you all next week.
Bye, y'all. See you next week.